Hi guys, before I start this profile I actually want to make one thing really clear in case it wasn't clear from the title. This is an EU, a European version of the Kozmo deck, and the reason I'm saying this for any American viewers is because we actually don't have a card called Juraghetto, which is a really important card for Kozmo as it just increases OTK potential. It's a free monster, it's really good in the deck, and I'm pretty sure it's such a staple for anyone playing in America, etc. So I'm just making that clear before anyone questions my choice of cards in this deck. So I'm actually running a trap version of Kozmo. I tested the kind of chicken game turbo version, and I actually found it to be a little bit weak in a lot of ways. You kind of got low on life points very quickly, and I found as soon as your board was, as soon as someone took your board, you had no way of stopping that, and it just kind of it kind of got hard to recover from any hard situations. That's what I'm trying to say. So even though it was quite consistent, it was like you got a really good hand, but what's the point when you end up with like 1,000 life points and an inability to recover when all your board gets destroyed? So that's what I kind of found, and it was quite hard to get over big monsters, etc. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm actually going to start this profile. So for monsters, it's pretty basic. 3 Kozmo Farm Girl, 3 Good Witch. These are the kind of lower levels that, especially some of the bigger ships for anyone that doesn't know for any reason. Obviously the Farm Girl is the card you want to see more, and I generally end up Kozmo Towning away the Good Witches whenever I draw them in my opening hands, unless it's really necessary for me to summon them. You generally want to be pushing with your Farm Girl, and if you open this or an E-Telly for it, you're probably going to go off, which is really nice. Anyway, I'm running 3 Slip Rider. I found that drawing it generally isn't so bad, and worst comes to worst, you can normal summon it to get over some floodgates. So I personally really like this at 3. And obviously we have the bigger ship Forerunner, which is your better monster can't be targeted, and when it's destroyed you can cycle through to Slip Rider. So you're going to be going for Forerunner more than you're going to be going for Slip Rider, but I really like the Slip Rider as a 5. It opens up Volcasaurus plays, which are really important for game. And yeah, I think just 3 of each Kozmo at the moment, until we've got the full lineup of monsters and all of them are released. I think that's going to be how it stays. So I run 2 Mamelio in this build. I really like opening the Mamelio. You'll be going first. This is a trap variant, and it's just something you can normal summon and just sit on and wait for your opponent to make monsters kind of push over this, and then you're like, okay, now I've got my Kozmo plays, because you've kind of committed to board, or you've removed your opponent's monsters with the traps you searched with Mamelio. So that's really nice. And then we got 2 Honest. This is generally just used with Farm Girl to get over monsters, or just to you sit on your Farm Girl and wait for your opponent to attack, because you still get the search of Farm Girl. So this is just really nice. It gets in dead quite a lot. Like, I draw this whenever I'm top decking. It's like a rule. I'll always draw the Honest. So that kind of sucks, but it's also quite nice just because you can normal summon it, poke for more damage, and then return it to hand. It's basically just more OTK potential as well. So that's it for monsters, and going on to spells. 3 Kozmo Town. This spell is amazing. I have never played a more powerful field spell in my life. The Mulligan effect I use all the friggin' time. Pretty much every opening hand I open Kozmo Town, I'll end up shuffling back a few cards. And people just don't read this. Like, people that don't know this will destroy it blindly, and if you open multiples, I'll generally just destroy it with my Slip Rider to search, and it's just, this thing is crazy. And the 2 Terraforming to search it. I think the 3 and the 2 is pretty nice, but, you know, obviously sometimes you open multiples and that is really frustrating. Triple E-Tally, 3 for 3 might seem kind of strange, but you end up shuffling back your Farm Girls if you want to E-Tally for them anyway, as E-Tally is generally better than the actual Farm Girl itself, as you can push for more damage. But yeah, 3 E-Tally is perfect, and you want plenty of removal, so you got double Dark Hole and a Geki. Dark Hole is really nice in this deck because it allows your bigger ships to float, and it kind of means you can Dark Hole with your Forerunner on field, go through to Slip Rider, get rid of some back row or a problem card. And I think these are really important, the double Lance. I have had so many opening hands with Lance that have just been like, okay, I have access to a Farm Girl, or I have, you know, I have that Farm Girl, and I have a lance, and I can set it, and pretty much no matter what happens, I've got the back row to defend it in case of any sort of too big monsters. But either you can let people hit into your farm girl and then lance their monster, or just it can let your farm girl go through an empty board with back row. It's really, really nice. So I personally think Lancer 2 is perfect. I tested it a bit at 3 and it drew a bit dead because you don't always have access to your farm girls. But it was really nice. Anyway, we've got our kind of Trap Tricks targets, Bottomless, Nightmare, and Time Space. I really like the Time Space. Sometimes it gets a little bit risky with the life points because I barely ever get Forerunners plus 1,000 effect, but it's just fine. And the Nightmare is just crazy good. Like, I love it in this deck, and obviously Bottomless is so amazing anyway. It's just extra removal. I honestly love these. It just clears the board for your farm girls so easily, and just that this deck faces so many problem monsters that are simply too big for your Forerunner to get over, and in that situation there's honestly not much you can do. So I think the traps are really safe in this deck, because you want to be going into the extra deck as little as possible, just because then of course your monsters won't get their effects, and etc, etc. 2 Mirror Force, mainly just protection for your smaller monsters if you haven't got the big ships yet. I like this 2 Breakthrough skill, mainly because of just, like, for example, if you're facing down a BLs, there's not much way you can get over it. This way at least you kind of have a chance. Things like that, like things that can't be destroyed by battle, it can be a real problem for this deck, and a lot of kind of floodgate monsters and etc, etc. Few one-offs. TT, so good in this deck. Again, all your monsters float. Compulse, just more removal. Again, for things that can't be destroyed by battle, I think Compulse is a really good shout. 1D Prison, I found this one-off to be quite like surprisingly useful, but a lot of the time I do end up sliding it out, so I don't know, take what you will from that. And the Warning, which is super important. I think the 1 Time Space and the 1 Warning is enough life point cost as I want to take. Like, I'm not going to add any more, because you're already paying so many life points with the deck itself. Anyway, I'm really going to be super vague with this extra deck. I only have 3 cards that I will say are really staple in this extra deck, and these are 3 cards that I only go in, the only 3 cards I go into on a regular basis. So these are going to be Volcasaurus, as you go for game so much with this guy. It's crazy, because you can, if you're attacking for damage with kind of Forerunner or whatever, if you're staring down a construct, you can just like remove it with Volcasaurus and push yourself so close to game. It's crazy, because the Shaddoll matchup is really quite difficult for this deck, but what's nice is you can kind of just keep hitting your ships into the construct until you get round to Slip Rider. So then you can just make Volcasaurus. Cowboy, I haven't actually made this, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if I'm close enough to game for Cowboy, like, it's usually close enough, that I haven't had to make it. Like, this deck barely ever gets that close without making it. And Castell, I make probably the most out of this 3, simply because it's just really good removal, and it's the best removal rank 4. So yeah, personally I think these are the 3 staple cards for this extra deck, but it's totally up to you. Any rank 5s, any rank 4s, any rank 3s that you want to play, you can play, but I wouldn't, like, I played a tournament today with this and a Dweller. Like, that's all I needed. Like, honestly, I wouldn't say anything else is particularly important. But take from that what you will. I'm not running the Ghost Ogre for the Italies, as I found it to be a little bit inconsistent, so I'm not running any Synchros in this build. I might make a Synchro build soon, but for now, I'm running this kind of variant. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little bit different profile. I usually make quite synchro combo heavy decks, but I really like this deck at the moment. Let's just see how it goes, and I can't wait for more support. So I hope you liked this video, and I will see you later. Good luck, have fun.